Hello everyone, I hope you all are enjoying the e-learning at your home. Welcome back to your social science classes. Students, today we are going to continue with our chapter number 1, which is when, where and how. In our previous class, we have studied about the literary sources, and in our today's class, we will study about the archaeological sources. So students, literary sources were the sources that are written. Okay, now today we are going to start with our archaeological sources. Archaeological sources are the direct evidences. They cannot be hanged by humans. It tells about the history. There are many examples of archaeological sources that are inscriptions, monuments, art craft, coins, paintings and sculptures. Both the sources of history, that are literary or archaeological sources, helps the historians to know about the past. Students, before starting with our today's topic, that is archaeological sources, we will study about archaeology. So, what is the meaning of archaeology? It is the study of the remains of the past. As we all know that there are many remains of the past which tells us or they give information about the ancient time. For example, skeletal remains, the ruins of the buildings and the tombs, the inscriptions on the pillars and stone carvings, and then rubbish dumps. Let's talk about our first source of archaeological sources, that are inscriptions. The study of the inscriptions is called epigraphy. They are written in various languages and scripts. They tells us about the different dynasties and their history. Students, sometimes orders from kings were inscribed so that people could read and obey them. In our present time also we can see the pillars and the stones carvings on which these inscriptions were written. Let's talk about the monuments. Monuments are the old buildings. For examples, old forts, tanks, temples, mosques, churches, palaces, etc. These are all known as historical monuments. Okay, the beautiful palaces, forts, temples, mosques, tombs and other buildings of the medieval period, it tells us about the architectural styles used by the people who built these structures. These monuments are also a great source of history. They tells us about the ancient and the past times, about the rulers and their kingdoms. Now, numismatics. Students, the study or the collection of coins, banknotes and medals is known as numismatics. The study of coins is called numismatics. The writings on the coins gives us the names of the kings or the queens who issued them. These coins are also one of the main source of this historical time. They tell us about the kingdoms in which they were established, about the rulers, about their dynasties. Paintings and sculptures were also the main source of these archaeological sources, which tells us about the ancient time. There are many paintings and many sculptures which are being made. One of the famous statue or the sculptures was of the dancing Shiva. There are many beautiful paintings and sculptures that belong to the medieval period. The sculptures are mostly figures of the kings, queens, gods and goddesses and were made of bronze, stones or wood. Moving towards the last topic of our today's class is oral tradition as history. They are a valuable source of information for the historians. Students, we have often heard stories about the past from our parents or grandparents. These oral sources are, however, not considered as authentic and reliable as written sources because these stories tend to change while being told and retold by different people. The stories of Prithviraj Chauhan and his wife Samyogita or the stories of Kabir and Mirabai reflect the thinking of this period. So, that's all about this oral tradition as history. As compared to oral tradition, the more importance and reliability is given to written form of sources. Thank you and have a nice day.